Yes, you are audible, Prabhuji.
Yes. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Asatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are in the 16th chapter, Daivasura Sambhaga Vibhaga Yoga. The divine and demoniac natures. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, freedom from envy, and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Yes. Yes. So these qualities, which will help us to get liberated from this world, this will help us to reach the spiritual world. So these are all divine qualities. So Srila Prabhupada Acharya explains the first three qualities here: fearlessness, purification of one's existence, and cultivation of spiritual knowledge. They are the necessary qualities of a person in the renounced order of life, a sannyasi. Because in the setting of varnashrama, there are 4 social orders and 4 spiritual orders. So the 4 spiritual orders: brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. So the sannyasi is supposed to be completely endowed with all these godly qualifications. So fearlessness, because it should be completely dependent on the Lord, completely conscious of the Lord's protection. So that's how one can become fearless. So this is a divine quality. So sannyasi is supposed to have achieved fearlessness, abhayam. Then sattva samshuddhi, the second quality, purification of one's existence. So many rules and regulations to be followed. So come to completely control the mind and senses. So he's completely situated on that platform. Abhayam sattva samshuddhi. So Srila Prabhupada gives the example of one of how strict Lord Chaitanya was. Lord Chaitanya was initially grihastha. So Lord himself took the incarnation as a devotee. And later he accepted the renounced order of life at a very young age, by 24, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, but he was so strict, it is said. One of his disciples was Chota Haridas Thakur, was little deviated from the principle. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu detected it, and he was not forgiving him. So that instance Srila Prabhupada talks about, setting an ideal example of how previous sannyasis used to follow strictly regulated principles, used to be very strict. So that is why purification of one's existence, completely pure, no material desires, completely free from material desire, purification of one. Particularly desires, the greatest material desire is attraction to the opposite sex. So in the material world, so they are completely free from that. The unmanly association, they are aloof from that. So that is the divine quality of a sannyasi, completely purified in his existence. Fearlessness, purification of one's existence. And the third quality, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Cultivation of spiritual knowledge. By spiritual knowledge, they can actually guide the rest of the society, and they're situated in the position of fearlessness and purification and purified existence. Gnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. So these 3 qualities, these are considered as the divine qualities a sannyasi is supposed to attain. Then the next 3 qualities of dana, tapa, and yagna. Gnana, dhamma, and yagna. So gnana, not dana, charity. So that is also a noble quality, charity. And then self-control, dhamma. Even though there is possibility of engaging the senses in so many sense enjoyment, still controlling them, self-control. And performance of sacrifice, the yagna. So the particular yagna for Kali Yuga is the Sankirtana yagna. So these 3 are the noble qualities, more so a householder person should engage in. Then next 3, study of the Vedas, swadhyaya, austerity, tapa, simplicity. Arjava are said to be the prime qualities for a brahmachari, engaging in serious study of the Vedic scriptures and then engaging in various austere practices, then being simple. And of course, austerity is also said to be an important quality for a vanaprastha. So all these qualities, as is practiced, non-violence is referring to not only physical, mental violence, but also stopping somebody's spiritual advancement. That is also considered as violence, himsa and himsa. And truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all humanities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, freedom from envy, and from the position of honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine. Okay, so that is the first 3 verses. Then the Lord talks about the demoniac nature in the rest of the chapter. Basically, this divine qualities, or we can say qualities of the mode of goodness, more or less. So that will help us to finally cross over and then reach the transcendental existence. So that is Sattva-guna. The Rajoguna and Tamoguna, they are demoniac qualities. So they lead us down more and more. They bind us more and more. And they continue our material existence. Arrogance, pride, anger, conceit, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demoniac nature, O son of Pratha. Daivi sampad vimokshaya nibandhaya suri mata mashucha sampadim daivim abhijato asi pandava. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. So Arjuna is being certified by the Lord that he is born of divine qualities. That is how he is considering whether to fight, not to fight. Duryodhana has no such consideration, but the Arjuna has a lot of consideration. We saw 5 reasons he said he will not fight. Here we also see in the 7th chapter also the Lord talked about 4 kinds of people who do not surrender unto him, 4 kinds of people who take to his shelter. So 4 kinds of non-devotees, so they are under the demoniac nature, we can say. Muda, Naradama, Maya, Aparatagnana, and Asuram Bhav. So one is a very hard working person without any understanding of spirit, soul, about Lord, that is Muda. So just being confined to his present activities all in all. The second kind was so-called intellectual, but his real intellect is taken away, Maya, Aparatagnana. Third one is Naradama, person who is involved in grossly sinful activities. And fourth one is out and outright atheist. So Asura Bhav. So Krishna was saying they will not surrender unto me. And then the Lord talked about 4 kinds of people who take his shelter, who start the process of devotion. Artho, Artharthi, Gnani, and Jignasu. So person in need of money, person distressed, person inquisitive, person who is in knowledge. So they all approach the Lord. So slowly, the person who approaches the Lord, they develop divine qualities. And the person who remain averse to the Lord, they sink more and more into demonic qualities. These demonic qualities, the description in brief. O son of Pratha, in this world, there are 2 kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demonic. I've already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demonic. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidurasura na shaucham na pachacharo na satyam teshu vidyate. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. Yes. So there is a purport. The Prabhupada says, what is this cleanliness? What is this proper behavior? What is this truth? In every civilized human society, there is some set of scriptural rules and regulations which are followed from the beginning, especially among the Aryans, those who adopt the Vedic civilization and are known as the most advanced civilized people. Those who do not follow the scriptural injunctions are supposed to be demons. Therefore, it's stated here that the demons do not know the spiritual rules, nor do they have an inclination to follow them. Most of them do not know them. And even if some of them know, they have not the tendency to follow them. They have no faith, nor are they willing to act in terms of Vedic injunctions. The demons are not clean, either internally or externally. One should always be careful to keep his body clean by bathing, brushing teeth, changing clothes, etc. As far as internal cleanliness is concerned, one should always remember the holy names of God and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. The demons neither like nor follow all these rules for external and internal cleanliness. This is what is cleanliness. As far as behavior, there are many rules and regulations guiding human behavior, such as the Manu Samhita, which is a law of the human race. Even up to today, those who are Hindus follow the Manu Samhita. Laws of inheritance and other legalities are derived from this book. Now, in the Manu Samhita, it's clearly stated that a woman should not be given freedom. That does not mean that women are not to be kept as slaves, but they are like children. Children are not given freedom, but that does not mean that they are kept as slaves. The demons have now neglected such injunctions, and they think that women should be given as much freedom as men. However, this has not improved the social condition of the world. Actually, a woman should be given protection at every stage of life. She should be given protection by the father in her younger days, by the husband in her youth, and by the grown-up sons in her old age. This is proper social behavior according to the Manu Samhita. But modern education has artificially devised a puffed up concept of womanly life, and therefore marriage is practically now an imagination in human society. Nor is the moral condition of women very good now. The demons, therefore, do not accept any instruction which is good for society. And because they do not follow the experience of great sages and the rules and regulations laid down by sages, the social condition of the demonic people is very miserable. Yes, so Srila Prabhupada had to face a lot of it, but in the Western world, in those times. Yes, so this is all for our spiritual advancement. So many rules and regulations the scriptures lay down. It is for one's spiritual advancement. So, but without the goal of spiritual advancement, when things become material, definitely sometimes it is misunderstood. It is misconstrued. No. So when the goal is clear, then everything can be understood properly. Yes. O son of Pratap, it is over. We have done this. So why this demonic activities, why this demonic nature comes about? So Krishna says the understanding the demons have, the existence that there is nobody in control, there is nobody for whom we have to account for. So that makes the philosophy, that makes the knowledge for them to behave in that particular way. Apsatyam asatyam apratishtam te jagadahur anishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama haitutam. They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation, there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. So this is a modern popular understanding. So it is said somewhere somebody was doing a survey in some reputed university. Hardly 2% of people believe that there is God. And when the survey was done on common society, more than 50% believed, yes, there is God. So this is the way the modern education, the more and more somebody is getting advanced in education, is feeling there is no God, there is nobody in control, things are coming by chance, by accident. Yeah. So this is a demonic kind of education system, what we have in yes. Following such conclusions, the demonic who are lost to themselves and have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. So Srila Prabhupada comments the creation, the manufacture of the nuclear weapons. So Krishna is indicating here. So because they have no proper understanding, proper intelligence, so they finally do something which will create horror for the whole world. The demoniac, taking shelter of insatiable lust, pride, and false prestige, being thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted with the impermanent. So unclean work basically means the four sinful activities: illicit relationship, gambling, intoxication, meat eating. They believe that to gratify the senses until the end of life is a prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, I have killed him. My other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity. I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. So at least we can understand clearly these people. Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, Ravana. They're typically demonic people. So demonic people is not that they have some aunts, they have some so many things like that. It is only the nature of the person that makes a person demonic person, and the nature of the person that makes a person divine person. Devata and Dhanava. So Hiranyakashipu, we see how his own child, so he was ready to persecute so much, so he wanted to kill him because he is a strong believer. Yes, the Lord is there. My Lord Vishnu is there. So once Hiranyakashipu asks Prahlad, what is the source of your power? How come you're so fearless in front of me? So Prahlad Maharaj says, the source of my power is the source of your power also. Because, and indeed, he is the source of all the powers that be. So that was how the Prahlad Maharaj, perfect understanding that Lord is the cause for everything. Sarva Karana Karana. The atheist, the arguments, the whatever they're thinking, that is also finally given by the Lord. So anyway, everybody finally is caused by the Lord, both the class of people. So Krishna is the cause. So Prahlad Maharaj gives this, and also sometimes when his father asks, what is the highest thing, highest education, what you have learned in school? What is anything? He wanted to just hear how his child is learning, how his child is doing in school. So he asked him, what did you learn? So Prahlad Maharaj said, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, Iti Pamsapita Vishnu, Bhaktische, Tavalakshana, Kriyeta, Adda, he says, so it is Dadaditam Uttamam. So he says, serving the Lord 9 ways by bhakti, that is the highest knowledge, that is the highest education. This is what I have learned. So definitely his father is atheistic, doesn't want to believe. He wants to believe that he himself is supreme. So he doesn't like that, Hiranyakashipu. So, and then we have this Kamsa, having heard the prophetic voice from the sky that this 8th child born from his sister Devaki will kill him. He's ready to kill his own sister at the auspicious time of her marriage. So that is Kamsa. Then Vasudeva tries to instruct him. Anyway, our life is temporary. We are anyway going to die. If not today, some other way we are going to die. Why do you risk your reputation? So many ways he tried to counsel him. And anyway, Atma doesn't die, but he doesn't listen. So finally, Vasudeva says, no, I will give my word. Whoever is born from your sister will be, you can kill them. I'll bring them to you. So it is said Vasudeva was so truthful. Kamsa believed him. He knew Vasudeva is very, very truthful. And that is how he left. And every time, after every child is born, Vasudeva is carrying the child to Kamsa. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But finally, the final child, when he was about to born, Vasudeva had also already planned. No, let me not give this child to Kamsa. But anyway, the Lord finally instructed, take me to Gokula, Vrindavan. That was how the 8th child comes. Krishna was taken to Vrindavan. And later on, we know what happens. Yes, that is Kamsa. So demoniac person doesn't even mind killing his own sister, killing his own relatives. So we have so many people in history, so many Aurangzeb, people like that, so many people. Yes. And this is Ravana, another demonic, typical demonic person. So he heard from his sister about the beauty of Mother Sita. So he wanted to abduct her. So he made the whole plan. And he brought in his friend, who was it? Marichi. So Marichi was also a demon previously, but later, having seen the prowess of Lord Rama, he had become a devotee somewhat. He had become a devotee. But Ravana, when he asked his help for him, so he thought, oh, if I don't obey Ravana, if I don't help him, he will definitely kill me. That was how the demonic nature is. But if I obey him, then finally Lord Rama will kill him. So Marichi thought, better to be killed by Lord Rama than be killed by Ravana. and then he helped him. He became a deer, golden deer, something, and that was how Lord Rama, as a pastime. The Lord knows everything, but still a pastime. He goes after hunting, not hunting, bringing the deer back, and finally, that was when he takes the opportunity to talk to Mother Sita. But actually, real Sita was not given. There is a reference in scripture that we cannot even see real Sita, the Lakshmi Devi, the eternal energy of the Lord. We cannot even see with a demoniac nature. It was a Maya Sita, an imitation that was given to Ravana. And even Maya Sita he could not enjoy, we know. So she also refused to satisfy Ravana. Yes. Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, one becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into hell. So first of all, their life here in this world. So how it is always anxiety, always it is some anticipation of enjoyment, but actually there is no real enjoyment, the demoniac way of life. Then finally, after the life is over, then the destination. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, anger, the demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion. That is how here we see Shishupala, a typical demon. So he was a royal prince Kshatriya, Krishna's own cousin, one of his aunt's son. But he was so demoniac, every time finding fault with the Lord. Finally, Krishna had to keep a count as he had promised Shishupala's mother. So then after 99, I think 100th fault, so Krishna killed him. So here in the assembly of the Rajasuya Yajna, Shishupala objected Krishna to being worshipped at that auspicious yajna. He said, no, Krishna is not an ordinary person. There are so many much more great people here. So many sages are there. So many devatas are there. Why Krishna is worshipped? Why Krishna has to be given such reverence, such respect? So then the Pandavas are ready to fight against the Shishupala. So the Lord releases his Sudarshana and Shishupala is killed. And here in this instance, everybody, as they're seeing, generally this does not happen. The Atma, the spirit soul from the Shishupala's body comes out and enters into Krishna's body. Because finally Krishna is a source for even Brahma Jyoti. So everybody could see that Shishupala being killed by the Lord attained Sayujya Mukti, the impersonal liberation. So this is the liberation even the one kind of spiritualist called impersonalists want to achieve. They want to become one with the Lord. So they want to become merged in the Brahma Jyoti. So this is also achieved by the demons. So it is not a very high achievement. So devotees achieve better states of liberation, which is called Sarupya, Samipya, Salokya, Sarshti, wherein they achieve spiritual bodies, spiritual forms, and eternally serve the Lord. This Sayujya Mukti, a kind of merging into the Lord, is even achieved by a demoniac person when killed by the Lord. So demon, one has to become a very great demon to be killed by the Lord. Otherwise, the Lord will not directly kill. But when he kills, even they are blessed. They also achieve this kind of a liberation. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demonic species of life. Tanaham vishata kruran samsareshu naradaman kshipami ajasaram ashubhan asurishu eva yonishu. Yes, asurishu eva yonishu. So there are so many kinds of living entities, 84 lakhs of living entities. So many living entities, particularly the lower life forms, where there is constantly enmity, constantly there is anger, constantly there is all those things. They are particularly considered to be demoniac species. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all that, too much in the lower life forms. So Krishna says, I put them back into such species of life. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life, such persons cannot achieve me. Asurim yonim apanna mudha janmani mam prapyeva konteya tato yanti adamam gatim. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So so many living entities, 84 lakh species. So the lower living entities, particularly as the dogs, as the cats, as further down the insect, we see so much of violence, so much of all that going on. So this is all considered to be demonic species of life. Trividam narakasyedham dvarama nashanam atmanaha kama krodhas tatalobhas tatsmat etatrayam tyajet. So Krishna summarizes the three gates that lead to this hellish situation. He says, one is lust, another is anger, another is greed. So other elsewhere, also third chapter, the Lord said, Arjuna, know it from me, they are your enemies. Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhava mahashano mahapapma vidyesha hiya vairinam. That was the Lord's statement in third chapter. Here also same thing the Lord is telling, is kama and krodha and lobha. These are the gateways to hell. These are the doorways to hell. So that's why every sane man should give them up. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. Ether vimukta kaunteya tamodvara istribir naraha acharetyatmana shreyas tato yanti param gatim. So then it will be easier to practice all the rules and regulations like acceptance of spiritual master, study of the Vedas, austerity, sense-controlled spiritual knowledge, and finally reaching the Lord. Yaha shastra vidimutsrujya vartate kamakarataha na sasiddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. But he who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. So the following of rules and regulations as given in the Vedic scriptures, just like a citizen follows the state laws, the government laws, similarly, we are supposed to follow the dharma, the rules, the laws given by the law. So Krishna says, without following them, so anybody acting independently, whimsically, they will not achieve any perfection, neither happiness nor final perfection of going back to home, back to God. As described before, the Shastra Vidim or the direction of a Shastra is given to the different castes and orders of human society. Everyone is expected to follow these rules and regulations. If one does not follow them and act whimsically according to his lust, greed, and desire, then he will never be perfect in his life. In other words, a man may theoretically know all these things, but if he does not apply them in his own life, then he should be known as the lowest of mankind. In the human form of life, a living entity is expected to be sane and to follow the regulations given for elevating his life to the highest platform. But if he does not follow them, then he degrades himself. But even if he follows the rules and regulations and the moral principles, and ultimately does not come to the stage of understanding the Supreme Lord, then all his knowledge becomes spoiled. Therefore, one should gradually raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness and devotional service. It is then and there that he can attain the highest perfectional stage, not otherwise. The word kamakarataha is very significant. A person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust. He knows that this is forbidden, still he acts. That is called acting whimsically. He knows that this should not be done, but still he does not do it. He knows that this should be done, but still he does not do it. Therefore, he is called whimsical. Such persons are destined to be condemned by the Supreme Lord. Such persons cannot have the perfection which is meant for the human form of life. The human life is especially meant for purifying one's existence, and one who does not follow the rules and regulations cannot purify himself, nor can he attain the real stage of happiness. The final verse of this chapter, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavastito Gnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Hyarasi. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. It's a very nice purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, as stated in the 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. If one understands Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. He asked people simply to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord and eat the remnants of foodstuff offered to the deity. One who is directly engaged in all these devotional activities is to be understood as having studied all Vedic literature. He has come to the conclusion perfectly. Of course, for the ordinary persons who are not in Krishna consciousness or who are not engaged in devotional service, what is to be done and what is not to be done must be decided by the injunctions of the Vedas. One should act accordingly without argument. That is called
Roles and regulations, roles and regulations.
One should act. Yes, where we were. One should act accordingly without argument. That is called following the principles of Shastra or scripture. Shastra is without the four principal defects that are visible in the conditioned soul: imperfect senses, the propensity for cheating, certainty of committing mistakes, and certainty of being illusion. These four principal defects in conditioned life disqualify one from putting forth rules and regulations. Therefore, the rules and regulations, as described by the Shastra, being above these defects, are accepted without alteration by all great saints, acharyas, and great souls. In India, there are many parties of spiritual understanding, generally classified in two: the impersonalist and the personalist. Both of them, however, lead their lives according to the principles of the Vedas. Without following the principles of the scriptures, one cannot elevate himself to the professional stage. One who actually, therefore, understands the purpose of the Shastra is considered fortunate. Yes. So, simple method, Kali Yuga, we follow the process of devotional service. Then it is possible for us to attain the divine nature. Otherwise, generally, the influence of Kali Yuga is more or less demoniac nature. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. This is today's small chapter, 16th chapter.